I'm Dr. Scott Fuller. On this segment, we're going to be talking about the cancer cure. The cancer cure. Well, I got you, didn't I? We don't have a cure for cancer, if you will, right now, because what we need to do is prevent cancer. And this is something that we know how to do, we as the collective public, as scientists, as doctors. We know how to prevent cancer. We know how to prevent most cancers right now. So we don't have to wait for additional research. We don't have to wait for magic pills. We don't have to wait for ways to change our genetics. We can prevent most cancers right now. Now, I'm not saying to ignore research on genetic factors in relationship to cancer, because there are some cancers that are related to that. My proposal is we need to spend most of our money and focus and media attention and time and teaching and doctor's visits on cancer prevention, because the vast majority of all cancers can be prevented with a few things. Let me tell you some numbers right now. So how much cancer can we prevent, and what can we all do to prevent cancer right now? According to a couple of sources that I have pieced together, including the MD Anderson Cancer Center in Texas and the Harvard School of Public Health, 75% of all cancers, now follow me, 75% of all cancers can be prevented by doing three things. 1, eat a healthy diet. 40% of all cancers can be prevented if you eat a healthy diet. More on that in a minute. Regular daily exercise can prevent somewhere around 5%, I believe it's more than that, of all cancers. Regular exercise, we're at 45%. And not smoking. Smoking causes 30% of all cancers. Now, of course, it causes the majority of lung cancers, right? Something around 88–90% of lung cancers are caused by smoking. But smoking causes 30% of all cancers. Add that together, three things. That means 75% of all cancers can be prevented with a healthy diet, regular exercise, and not smoking. What about the remaining 25%? I'm just going to give you some numbers from the Harvard Report on Cancer Prevention from the Harvard School of Public Health. Occupational factors is 5%, alcohol 3%, environmental pollution is 2%, sun exposure 2%, prescription drugs 1%, viruses 5%. So you can see we're already almost at 95% of all cancers. The point is genes don't cause cancer. Mom and dad didn't give you faulty genes and caused cancers in almost all cases. Bad habits cause cancer. So once again, what we need to do right now as policymakers, as the healthcare industry and so forth, is focus our funds and media campaigns and so forth on cancer prevention, just like we did with smoking. In 1950, about 50% of us smoked. Right now, it's about 20%. So we can say that that program was successful. It was certainly worth the money and time and effort. We need to do the same thing with cancer overall, is spend our time on good nutrition habits and regular exercise. Well, on this show, my cable television show, and on my YouTube page, I have clearly laid out the strategy that will be cheap and effective on how we can get this information on a daily, regular basis to the entire population of the United States. Go to my YouTube page, check out the video, which is saving $500 billion in healthcare costs right now. And I will lay it out in 9.5 minutes how to do this program on getting people to eat good things on a regular basis and exercise regularly. We can bring this to the public for very little money and save at least $500 billion a year, if not more. Moving on to other people that comment about cancer prevention, how about Dr. Oz? Regarding the importance of cancer prevention, Dr. Oz said, "It's not just about me. It's about being here for the ones that you love." Dr. Oz has had several shows and several things are on his website about cancer prevention. What he's getting at is you as an individual, if you're diagnosed with cancer, you're going to suffer. But he's saying also is all the people around you that you touch, all of your family members and loved ones and coworkers and stuff, they suffer as well. Let's not do that if we can prevent it. And I just told you how to prevent 75% of all cancers. It's not only the monetary cost to healthcare and the economy, but it's the cost of your individual suffering as a person with cancer and the suffering of your loved ones around you. Let's try to make sure that that doesn't happen. So what's the strategy? Strategy on cancer prevention. Eat a clean diet. I have laid out dietary recommendations for you many, many times on this show and on my YouTube pages, but let me get into this again. A clean diet is as follows. Lots of vegetables. Vegetables should be right at the top of your pyramid. Let's invert the pyramid. Let's make it a broad base at the top, which goes to a point down the bottom. Vegetables should be the bulk of your intake. Morning, noon, and night, every meal, every day. The game is how many vegetables can you get into your body? Eat some fruit. If you're a meat eater, eat less meat and choose white meat, as we call it. Organic chicken, organic turkey, and fish, which are salmon, mackerel, herring, sardines, and anchovies. Make meat the smaller part of your plate. Make vegetables and certain grains the bigger part of your plate. Nuts and beans can finish off what you're going to be eating day to day. So, what not to eat? No processed foods whatsoever. No soda, no sports drinks, no diet sodas and sports drinks, no diet anything, as a matter of fact, and drink only water. I also put in here to eat slowly. If you eat slowly, you tend to eat less, and research has been clear. The people that eat less food live longer and have fewer diseases, including cancer. That's what you need to do. Dr. Oz discusses preventing cancer by eating a variety of vegetables and fruits, and he has experts on his show talking about cancer prevention and improving diets, and he makes a couple of comments and gives you some suggestions. The first defense of cancer begins with every forkful of food you put in your mouth, and I couldn't agree with Dr. Oz more. Decisions you make in the grocery store every time you go, that's how you win your battle. He'll give you some specific recommendations. He mentions cruciferous vegetables, which include broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, bok choy, and kale, spinach, tomatoes, wild blueberries, black currants, and muscadine grape juice. We'll have to all look into that some other time. Those are the dietary recommendations. Reduce red meat consumption to as close to zero as possible. Studies have shown from the Tufts University Health and Nutrition letters, meat eaters, red meat eaters now, increase their colon cancer risk by 30%. And if you eat processed meats on a regular basis, you increase your colon cancer by 50%. How about knocking that down by 30 or 50% by staying away from red meat and processed meats? That makes good sense to me. A healthy diet can help you maintain a healthy weight throughout your life. Overweight adults are at a greater risk for colon, endometrial, breast, esophageal, pancreatic, and kidney cancers. If you are obese, most of the cancers that get people are going to go way up. How do you stay away from getting obese or get yourself thin again? You eat good things, move along from there. Next, exercise. Exercise reasonably, exercise every day. Get consultation with exercise. Do cardio, but cardio is not enough. Walking is not enough. You need resistance exercise. You need to be using weights. Try to exercise every day. Get help, get consultation, check with your doctor. Don't smoke. If you're a smoker, do any reasonable strategy that you possibly can to stop smoking. As I've talked about in other shows, around 1950, about half the population smoked. We have that now down to about 20%. One of the sad things about that is a lot of the tobacco funds from lawsuits have been put into schools to have smoking cessation and anti-smoking campaigns. Well, now some of those funds have been diverted away from schools back into budgets because of tight budgetary issues with towns and cities around the country. Smoking rates in high schools now have leveled off a little bit and even trickled up somewhat because we've diverted those funds. I think that that's a bad idea. We need to get those funds back in the schools. Reducing stress is a good idea, of course. Get consultation there, whether it's meditation, programs at home, professional consultation. Reduce your stress. Get regular rest. And also go to a chiropractor. No, I'm not saying that chiropractic care prevents cancer, but what I'm saying is chiropractic care improves the function of the nervous system, and that's a good thing to do. So those are your strategies. Now that's the cancer cure, and the cure is prevention. I'm Dr. Scott Fuller. Please join me again.